Hello, Assalamu alaikum. Today's topic is V-type belts. In the last class, we have studied flat belt and did problems related to flat belt. In case of V belts, let's start with the theory. The cross-section dimension of V belts have been standardized by manufacturer, with each section designed by a letter and alphabet of size in inch dimensions or millimeter dimension, depending on which type of book you have. I will use millimeter dimension book or essay edition book. I have in the previous class as well. I have told you that the V belts come in standard dimension sizes. So the length of belts are fixed. Metric sizes as well as SI edition second millimeter sizes are designated in by numbers that we will see it in table 17.9. Just see here. In the belts we have V type A, B, C, D, and E type belts. Each of these type has a specific dimension A, width B, and angle of 40 degrees is fixed. Depending on the type of alphabet, the dimensions of the belt vary. For each of the belt, the sheet diameter, minimum sheet diameter is also given in this book, and in essay edition book, these diameters are given in millimeter. But in this slide, I have used metric edition table as I had PDF of this table, but I have shared essay edition book in Portuguese language with all of you students. Just go and see table 17-9. You will see all these dimensions in millimeter and also horsepower range or in essay edition kilowatt ranges for each type of belt is given. To specify a V belt, give the belt's section letter followed by the inside circumference in inches or millimeter. For example, a B75 in inch system, a B75 belt shows that we have a belt section of B, and the length of belt is inner circumferential length of B belt is 75 inches. Similarly, in essay edition, if it is given as B, let's say it is given as B 1275. I'm not sure if it exists in table, but 1275 means that the belt inner circumferential length of belt is inner circumferential means like this. If the belt has a thickness, let us see here B, there will be different circumferential length of inner section and outer section. Inner section circumferential length will be minimum. So the value with letter B gives the circumferential length of inner side, this side, this. Depending on the cross section, we can calculate outer circumferential length. But the issue is that for calculation, we can neither use inner circumferential length nor we can use outer circumferential length. But we have to calculate an effective length. For example, if this is a cross section of the belt, let's say this is a cross section of the belt. We know let's say we know the inner circumferential length is 1275 millimeter, and let's say we know that the outer circumferential length is 1325 mm. But on this cross section, there will be a amount of force acting at each and every point. In all the statics, in all the dynamics, we calculate a force that, and we assume that the force will pass through a point through the cross section. Let's say this is a point where all the cross section equivalent force is passing, or force F is out of the paper at this section. So let's say this is a cross section, and force F will act at this section. So we don't need a inner circumference for calculation. We do not need inner circumferential length or outer circumferential length. We need a circumferential length of this region. For example, if this is a complete belt, let's say this is a complete belt, and there is a pulley here. Similarly, there is a pulley here. The pulley will have a groove for to settle down the belt. So there will be inner and outer diameter of pulley. For calculation, we will calculate a pitch diameter of pulley, which will be in between these 2 points, and that will be given. Any diameter of the pulley given we will consider at a pitch diameter or D, and we will assume that this force will pass through that pitch diameter, or this pitch diameter will be here. For all the circumferences, all the cross section of the belt A, B, C, D, and D, we are given the correction factor, which has to be added with 1275. For example, for a belt size of B, the correction factor is in inches is a 1.8, and in millimeter it is, I think, let me check the book. In millimeter, this correction factor is 45. In SI unit for B type belt, the correction factor is 45. So this 1275 inches belt has a total will have a total length at this point. A total circumferential length will be equal to 1275 inner circumferential length plus 45 correction factor. So the length will be equal to 1320 mm. Or in case of in system, if we have B75 length, so total length pitch length will be equal to 75 plus 1.8 will be equal to 76.8 mm. So this diameter we will use for our calculation. And what it shows, this diameter shows that we have a pulley of diameter D, which is pitch diameter, and there is a belt which will be shown by a line, because now we use this length as a pitch diameter. So pitch diameter of this wheel and pitch diameter of this pulley, both diameter will be given as pitch diameter, and this length, circumferential length, will be LP, which will be equal to 1320 mm. So for the calculation, we will and the force will act through this line. So that's how we calculate equivalent length of belt or pitch length of the belt, LP, which is represented by LP. So that's how we calculate it. Calculation of the belt length are usually based on the pitch length. B75 length has a pitch length of 76.875 plus 1.8 inch correction factor. The stated diameter are usually understood to be pitch diameter. So any diameter of the given sheath or pulley will be considered as pitch diameter. It will not be mentioned that it is inner diameter or outer diameter. We will take it as a pitch diameter. Standard circumferential lengths are listed in the table. In table 17-13 inch dimensions are given for all the sections. So you can just check. For example, for B type belt we have 53, 55, 64, 71 inch. Similarly, if I have written SI edition values in the further calculation, let me go there. Yeah, these are the A, B, C, D, E type belt. For we have all the dimension in millimeter. So B1275 exists. So B1275 shows it has an inner circumferential length of 1275 plus, but pitch length of 1275 plus 45, which is 1320 mm. So again, going to the topic. So that's how we calculate pitch length. The groove angle of sheave is that, so that is understood that if there is a sheave, let's say this is a circular sheave and a belt passes through the sheave. If we see this section, sheave will have a shape like this, cross-sectional shape, and the belt will pass through the sheave. There will be an angle of belt as well. So this angle of sheave, angle theta, and this angle of belt, phi, we will make sure that the phi is more than theta. As phi is more than theta, the belt will be fixed within the sheave very tightly. There will be forces exerted from the sides on the belt, so that the friction will increase, and effectively, eventually, then the belt will not slip. So this angle is kept small, so the belt fixes within the sheave tightly, and it does not slip. If it is made too much smaller than the belt, the force is required to pull the if the angle is too much small, then the force by which the belt is fixed within the sheave will be a lot, and the motor will require a lot of power to pull the belt out of the sheave. And if this angle is if the difference is small, or there is no difference, or the sheave angle is large, there will be slippage. So this angle has to be kept. The difference of angle has to be calculated, and this is calculated this is used in commercial literature. In educational literature, it is not detailed. It does not exist in detail. Center distance. Once we know the length of the belt, we know the sheave dia, we can calculate center distance that using the same equation we have used in flat belt in the case of flat belt. The minimum sheave distance have been listed in table 17-9. Sorry, sheave diameters. Sheave diameter has been listed in table 17-9. Going back to table 17-9, if you see 17-9, they have given that for each type of belt, what is the minimum sheave diameter. Similarly, for other type 17-9 for inch system, minimum sheave diameter for minimum sheave diameters are also given for A, B, C, D, E, and if you have SI edition book, you will have this type of table. So, what is the good speed? A V belt should run quite fast. 4,000 foot feet per minute or 20 meter per second is a good speed, but it should not run more than 25 meter per second or slower than 5 meter per second. So the average speed is in between 10 to 20 meter per second. Below that speed and above that speed, there will be either slippage or there will be either extensive force try to overcome the friction force of the V. The pitch length, to calculate center distance, we have to use pitch length that I have already explained. Pitch length is, for example, for C12, for B1275 type belt, the LP will be 1275 plus 45 correction length, so it will be 1320 millimeters. So that will be pitch length. We will use these equations are same. This equation is same as we have calculated for flat belt. In case of, if we know center distance, we can calculate P, and if we know length of belt, we can calculate C. Both equations are same, just we have separated C from 17-16 to make this equation. Another thing is there is another point to note that we can calculate center distance C if center distance known we can calculate LP, but the issue is that LP exists in standard sizes. So any belts, for example, again I am saying that C B1275 type belt has LP of 1320. If you want to increase LP, you have to go for a larger belt, which will be somewhat, for example, after 1275 there will be a belt of 1325 or 50 mm. So the next belt will have a size of 50 mm more. So there is no belt which has a dimension in between these two values. So while selecting a belt, if we know the center distance, from this center distance we will check value of L. We will calculate value of L. That will be the value around which we have to select a belt. Then from the table we will select a belt which has a pitch length close to this calculated value, and that will be standard length. From that standard length we will again calculate C, and if that C falls within the range of C that is given for our calculation, we will use that belt and that pitch length and that calculated value of C for further calculations. So that's how we calculate. So that's how we select a belt. Initially we have to select a belt depending on the power transmitted by the belt. For example, here, if you know that how much power is to be transmitted or how much is the dia, from that dia we select a belt. From that belt, if we have an idea of C, we will assume a value of C. From that value of C, we will calculate LP. Then we will compare for that B type belt, selecting any belt, adding a correction factor. If this value of LP comes close to the calculated value of LP pitch length that we have assumed, then we will select this value of pitch length and take this value here. We will have diameter will be given, so we will calculate value of C, and that is the center distance we have to use for our sheaves. And for the rest of calculation, these values will be used. Power rating, unlike flat belt, long center to center distance are not recommended. That I have already explained that for the flat belt, center distance can be unlimited, but in case of V belt, there is a limitation. How much is the limitation? Usually the central distance should not be greater than 3 times the sum of sheave diameter. So center distance has to be less than or equal to 3 times diameter of sheave, smaller sheave plus larger sheave, and no less than capital dia. So C has to be in between capital dia and 3 times sum of dia. C has to be in between that. So if for your problem you don't know either C or L and you have to make a guess, I will suggest you to keep a value in between. For example, if capital dia is, let's say capital dia is 100 and smaller dia is 50, let's say 50 mm and 100 mm. I'm just throwing a arrow within the blind arrow, 150. So the minimum value of C will be 100 and the maximum value of C will be 150 times 3, 450. So C will fall between 100 and 450. If you want to guess any value of C for your question, I will suggest you to use a value in between. An in between value will be around how much? Around 300. So if we take calculation for C equal to around 300 mm, so for this 300 mm you can calculate LP. For this LP you can go to table 17-10, I think. And from that you select a belt, either B type, C type, D type, any type of belt. It depends on the question, on the data given. Select a belt. For that selected belt, calculate LP, and that from that LP calculate C, and just compare if C falls within this range. If C lies within this range, so the calculated selected belt is acceptable. So for my calculation, this calculation I will use for this rough space. I will use C is equal to 1.5 D plus D, which is equal to 150. Sorry, 150 into 1.5 gives 225, round about middle range. Or either you can use 2 into D plus D. It depends on you again. And being a designer, this will be your choice. The basic power rating of V belt depends somewhat on the manufacturer. Number of hours, the life of belt is usually written in the number of hours or number of passes the belt pass. For example, there are two shapes. The belt runs from here to here. If the starting point of belt starts from here, point A, moving here and just arriving again at point A, one complete revolution of a belt is one pass. And it depends, for one pass it is quite possible that the wheel has turned 3 times, or this wheel have turned 10 times. It depends. So the life of belt does not depend on revolution of this wheel or revolution of this wheel. It depends on passes of belt, and this passes of belt can be converted by center distance, RPM of this, and all the diameters. From these value we can calculate what is the velocity, and from that velocity we can calculate equation of passes. That is not a difficult thing. Table 1712 gives a power rating for standard V type. For example, this 1712 belt. For other belts, for SI edition, I have taken, for example, this is 1712 table for C type belt. For SI edition, for C type, we have a diameter of from 170 to 300 mm. For a belt speed of 5 meters per second, 10, 15, 20 meters per second, we have a different type of power rating. For example, a 250 mm belt running at 10 meters per second can produce 4.66 kilowatt of power. And similarly, here, for example, a C-type belt of 10 inches sheer diameter running at 200 feet per minute can produce a power of 6.5 horsepower. SI edition books give this power value in terms of kilowatt, and metric edition book gives this equation this value in terms of horsepower. But these values, all these values are taken assuming that both the diameters, by diameter of both the sheaves are equal. If both diameters have both sheaves have same diameter, then angle of wrap is 180 degree. If this angle of wrap changes, for example, if there is a smaller wheel and larger sheave, this angle will be different. This angle will be smaller than 180. For any angle, for any theta smaller than 180, there will be a factor which will be multiplied with the power rating calculated using this table. So that is one factor. The second factor is belt length. that those values are calculated for standard belt length. Any change in the belt length will give another factor which will be multiplied with the power rating. And what are those factors? Those factors are K1 and K2. H tabulated is the value which we will use using this table, either for SI addition or either for metric addition. For table 17, 12, we will get values of H tabulated. Any change in angle of wrap will give us K1, and any change in belt correction factor will give us K2. Multiplying these two values will give us a allowable power that a single let's say selected belt, let's say we have selected a B-type belt running at a 6.6 mm sheave at 2000 meter per second. So this is 3.29 of power, which is rated power. This is tabulated power. Multiplying with two correction factors will give us a allowable power that we can allow on a single belt. Now, if let's say you have a allowable power of one single belt equal to, let's say 4 horsepower, but you want to transfer 10 horsepower. So you can use multiple belts. For example, 10 horsepower divided by 4 horsepower per belt will give you 2.5 belt, or you can use 3 belts. For that, we have to use another factor. So here is just an expression of factor K1. K1 for any angle, for 180 degree, K1 is 1. K1 is 1. We will not use flat. Flat wheel shows that one sheave is V and the other sheave is flat. So we will be using only VV type. So for 180 degree angle, K1 is 1. For 157 degree, K1 is 0.94. For 98.9 degree, it is 0.76. So depending on angle of wrap, we can calculate K1. Or if you have an angle in between these two values, you can do interpolation between. For example, for 148 degree, you have to do interpolation between 145 and 151. Luckily, 145 and between 151 and 148 is exactly at the center. So either you do by interpolation, or as you know that 145 plus 3 is 148 plus 3 is 151. So it is exactly in the middle. So the correction factor has to be 0.92. So just by using logic, you can calculate this value. Similarly for K2, if you know the belt length, again going to SI addition tables that I have placed here. If you know the belt length, for example, a B-type belt length of 3.22 meter or 3200 mm, you will have a correction factor of 1.1. Similarly, a B-type belt more than 4880 mm will give a correction factor of 1.2. Similarly, a C-type belt of more than 8.25 meters will give you a correction factor of 1.2. So that's how we calculate correction factor in metric addition or in SI that I have shown you. And KS, it is same as we have used in flat belts. Coefficient of friction. In case of B belt, as we have 3 types of connection, so 3 sides of connection, one here, and one here, and these 2 sides exert force on the belt. So effectively, the coefficient of friction increase 3 times. So if the flat belt running, for example, let's say they have given an example, if the belt has a coefficient of friction of 0.13, and by changing the angle, by increasing the angle 30, 34 and 38 degree, the coefficient of friction can be changed 0.5, 0.4, 5 and 0.4, and 0.13 is the exact when there is no V type of sheave. When the belt is running on a flat surface, its coefficient of friction is 0.13. But within the sheave, depending on angle of sheave, the effective coefficient of friction can be increased. So we will use coefficient of friction for all B-type belt. In this book, we will use coefficient of friction equal to 0.5132. So using coefficient of friction 0.5132, this equation is same as in case of flat belt. So we can use this equation to calculate calculate either F1, FC or F2, which one is required. So angle of wrap, this is the same angle of wrap from which we can calculate K1. Here it has to be used in radian because this is an expression, not sine or cos, so it has to be in SI unit, and SI unit of angle is radian. So that phi can be used here to calculate this. Depending on which parameters we know, remaining F1, F2 or Fc can be calculated using this equation. The design power, that equation is again the same. Nominal power, which is the output power required, is given. Ks is, can be used from table 17-15. This is the value of Ks. Depending on which type of power transmission is provided within the belt, we can calculate a value of, we can assume a value of Ks, and ND is a design factor of safety. So using these parameters, for example, if output required power is 10 horsepower, design value of Ks you select as 1.2, and you calculate 1.1. So in that case, 10 into 1.2 into 1.1 will give you a power. It will give you how much. Let me just calculate. Here is the calculator. 10 into 1.2 into 1.1 gives you 13.2. So your belt system has to transfer a uniform power of 13.2 horsepower. In that case, it can provide an output power, a constant output power of 10 horsepower. So that's how we calculate HD. Now this is the power our belt system has to transfer, and HA is the power that we have already calculated. It is the allowable power for one single belt. So maximum power that should be provided by the belt system, and maximum belt that one single belt can provide. So for example, if this is 10 horsepower, and if one single belt can provide 3 horsepower, we can say that number of belts are equal to 10 divided by 3, or HD by HA will give us 3.23 or 4. So we have to use 4 belts which are where one single belt can provide 3 horsepower. So 4 belts can easily provide a power of 10 horsepower. So that's how we calculate number of belts required for our system, and that has to be a round number 1, 2, 3, 4, because we cannot use 2.5 belts, 3.5 belts. We have to use either 1 belt, 2 belt, 3 belt, or numerical values of the belt. So that was the second portion. Initially you have to calculate phi. In the second point, you have to calculate number of belts, and as a third point, there is another point. In case of flat belt, this was the distribution of power moving from point A for a complete motion of the belt. For, let's say this is there are 2 shears, one smaller, one larger, moving from here and completing one complete revolution. This was the power. This was the forces on the belt. Here you can see we have 2 peaks. One peak is here and second peak is here. So one peak was F1 and second peak was F2, which we have calculated in the previous section and we have used it. But in case of V belt, this is not the case, because V belt has a thickness as compared to flat belt, which are whose thickness is negligible as compared to its width. But in case of V belt, we have a large thickness. Due to that large thickness, we have to calculate LP. From inner circumferential length, we have to add some factor to calculate LP. That is why, and that is also because the V belt has some thickness. So if we see from moving from this point and coming again at this point, moving from A to A, its tension in the belt is F1, which we usually calculate is here. And as the belt, let's say at this point, belt is bending. And when it comes here, the belt again straightens out. Again, when this belt comes to a smaller diameter, it is again bent with at a more less radius of an lesser radius, or more lesser curvature. More curvature or lesser radius. So as the belt has smaller larger curvature, smaller curvature, and the flat, so and R is changing, R of the belt is changing, which causes the tensions or bending forces to induce in the belt, and these bending forces cause more tension in the belt. So if you see the phenomenal tension start from here, then there is a bending tension, then it comes down, then again there is a bending tension here. So these two portions are due to bending tension. Now if you see the peak, we have two peaks, not F1 and F2, we have peaks T1 and T2. And how we calculate it? T1 is equal to F1 plus FB1 by 1, and T2 is equal to again F1 plus FB2. So bending tension at pulley 1 and bending tension at pulley or sheaf, second sheaf. So F1 plus FB1 plus and F1 plus FB2. So these two type of tension cause these two type of bendings cause tension in the belt. So this will increase the tension. The equation of tension will be given in the next slide. If you want to calculate FC, the value of FC can be calculated using Kc. And what is Kc? Kc is given in this table. If you know the type of belt, for each type of belt you can calculate value of Kc. So if you just substitute value of Kc, velocity of the belt calculated using pi dn, pi diameter of smaller sheaf, and n is in radian per second, revolution per second. So V is equal to pi dn. It will give pi, diameter is in millimeter, or it is in radian per second. So it will give you the velocity. With substituting velocity will give you centrifugal force in the belt. And once you have centrifugal force, you can calculate power transmitted in the belt. That is exactly same as we have used in case of flat belt. Here we have not used HA, as we know that NB is equal to HD by HA. So HD by NB equal to HA, but we have not used HA. Why? Because if let's say HD is 10 and HA is 3, in that case NB is equal to 3.33. But as we have used 4 belts, HD 10 divided by 4, so HD by 4 gives us 2.5, which means that each single belt is not supporting 3 horsepower or 3 kilowatt of power. Instead, each one of the belt is supporting 2.5. So actually, each belt is supporting 2.5 kilowatt of power. Why? Because instead of using 2.3 belt, we have used 4 belts. So effective tension supported by each belt will be reduced. So that's why we use HD by NB here instead of using HA. So largest tension F1 can be calculated, which is equal to this equation is again same as in case of flat belt. Least tension F2 equation is same. Initial tension Fi equation is same, and factor of safety again equation is same. Again we have, instead of using HA and B, HA and B is the maximum power that this belt system can support. For example, like the previous example, if a belt can support 3 kilowatt of power and 4 belts can support 12 kilowatt. So this is the maximum power that they can support, not 10. But instead it can support 12 kilowatt, but this is the output power we are getting. So factor of safety is calculated by maximum load it can support divided by actual load they are supporting. So that's why we are using HA and B, because 3 kilowatt it can support 12 kilowatt, but instead it is supporting less than 12 because we have rounded off the number of belts. So this is the third portion, and for the final portion we can calculate F1. For T1 we have F1 plus FB1, and for T2 we have F1 plus FB2. FB1 is KB by D and FB2 is KB by capital D. For these values we have this table. Again I am saying that in SI edition book this table is given as these values are given, but I think that these values are not correct here. Instead 73, these are the correct value of KB. 17, 16, these are the correct values of KB in SI edition. Those values are from metric edition book. Even I have SI edition book. In those SI edition book I have these values. I have these values which are not correct. These are metric edition values even in SI addition book. So the values in slide number 74 or 73, these are the correct value of KB. So we have to use this value if you are using SI addition values. So you substituting all values, we will get T1 and T2. Then we have to calculate life of belt. There is an equation given. Gates Rubber Company has used this equation that for any tension, and KB factor, we can calculate number of passes. But as in each pass, we have two peaks, one of T1 and one for T2, and both of these peaks cause number of cycles. So from this equation, we can say that number of passes are equal to K by T whole power B. So these are the number of passes. But if there are two peaks within one cycle, so number of passes will have effect on that. So the final equation will be like this: 1 by number of passes is due to effect due to peak 1, effect due to peak 2. So the number of, for example, if this effect is 1, this effect is 1, so number of passes will be 1 plus 1 and number of passes will be half. If K has an effect of 1, this whole equation gives a value of 1. So, and this gives value 0. So number of passes will be 1. And if we assume that there is another peak, it also gives a value 1. So number of passes will be half million, let's say half million, 1 million. So that's how we add the effect of bending. If the bending is twice, its effect is added twice to a number of passes. So from here we can calculate number of passes in the belt, and from that we can calculate life of the belt. This equation here is for metric addition book. For SI addition, I hope that this is the equation for SI addition. If you have number of passes, if it is in millimeter or meter, if it is in meter per second, so the life will be in hours. So that's how you calculate life of the belt using this equation in SI addition and this equation in case of metric addition. So there are 4 steps in solving V belt problem. Calculate V, calculate pitch length, C, phi, and e raised to power f5. So that's the first step. In the second step, we calculate number of belts. For number of belts, number of belts is the equation HD and HA. We have to calculate HD. We have to calculate HA. HA is K1, K2, H tabulated, and HD is equal to H nominal, Ks into ND. So if you have these two values, you can calculate number of belts to be used. Then we have to calculate FC delta, all the tensions we have to calculate, and last step is to calculate number of passes and life in terms of hours. So these are the 4 steps used in solving the problem related to V-type belt.